So we are about to start the live. They're having their little huddle. Thank you. They're clapping for me. They're having their little final huddle right now. Doing a powwow. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome on into the live. Let me see. Does this... Oh, you know what? No, we want... Select. Hello. You guys probably hear me much better with this microphone. There we go. Do you see our TikTok live? Oh, can you listen to it?
Yes.
This way we know. Yeah, move away. Far
not
away.
The Healthy Choices games. This is a Guinness World Record attempt, but love the Healthy Choices games. It's programming.
Oh, I don't know if you heard, but this is a Guinness World attempt, not Healthy Choices, but my boss Lisa loves Healthy Choices. It works. You can hear me? Oh, good. Perfect. Thank you so much, Rich, and welcome on in. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. If you have any questions about Save the Children or, what you're watching, please let us know. They're saying it's one and done. So the ball drops, that's it. They're not going to try again.
In a bit, we're going to have somebody who's on who can talk about pickleball as well, because we do not know anything about pickleball. We both work at Save the Children, which is a global organization that helps kids in over 100 countries around the world, including the U.S. So what we're going to have here soon is the Rossetti brothers Guinness World Record attempt for the longest pickleball rally. And they are fundraising for Save the Children as part of this. So that is what you are watching. They're just doing some final setups, and then they're going to get going on the actual attempt.
Isaiah, thank you so much for sending that love through TikTok. We appreciate that so much. Thank you, everyone, for giving us your time today. Your time's so valuable. We appreciate it. So this is going to be the pickleball attempt for a Guinness World Record. The Rossetti brothers are going to be attempting the volley attempt. So essentially what's going to happen, you're going to see the ball going back and forth, and they cannot let it fall on the ground. If it falls on the ground, the attempt is gone. That's it. Morgan, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Welcome on in. One of the Rossetti brothers, Atori, works for Save the Children. As Lisa was saying earlier, Save the Children is a global organization here in rural America as well as all over the globe. We work in over 50 different countries, as well as respond to various emergencies as well. What's the current record? That's a great question.
Idea.
We do not have that answer to. How many volleys do they have to get again?
No idea.
No, I want to say they have to get like 10,000 volleys, or it's
like
very high.
It's going to take a couple hours.
Yeah.
Once they get going.
So it should take it like I think it said 2 hours at least, if not longer.
Once the person who knows about pickleball comes over, we might be able to ask him, and he might know.
Yes, I play video games in my spare time and read. So, and I have lots of chickens. Thank you so much for all the hearts. We appreciate y'all being here. We hope you enjoy this live as well as our content that our beautiful social team puts on. We are also live on YouTube and Twitch. So if you have a preferred platform or you want to follow us on other socials, please feel free to follow us there. They're talking about the swag bags. So if you're in Connecticut and you want to come to Stamford and see the attempt live, you can do so. It's all for a wonderful cause. going to help us here at Save the Children with our different programmings. Couple of hours.
They're done with their pep speech and giving people information about the event. We've got some folks that are here that are going to be just kind of playing pickleball also because they enjoy pickleball. Pickleball is a great sport. I've never tried it, but this is what I've heard.
I've never tried it. I tried tennis, and I feel like it's the same, but I also feel like it's tennis combined with tabletop. You know, because tabletops use the paddle too.
Yeah. Right, so they are, yep, finishing up some chatting over there.
We have
10,000. Okay, they've got I think the record, I just heard a Tori saying it's some number after 10,000. So the current record might be 10,000 hits, basically, a 10,000 hit rally. So I think they have to get past 10,000 hits, which is quite a bit. So they have some folks that have official clickers. So they will be watching. So every time, I think there's one that's going to be clicking when Angelo hits the ball and one that clicks when a Tori hits the ball. So they each basically have to hit it 5,000 times, I think. And they're expecting it to take a couple hours. They've been prepping for this for the last couple months. This is not their first Guinness World Record. They have 2 other Guinness World Records, one for tennis, I think. And then I think they do have another pickleball Guinness World Record already from a couple years ago. Oh, Rich, thank you so much for tuning in. That is awesome. Amazing, amazing folks tuning in from our program team as well in Tennessee. That is fantastic. I haven't been to our programs in Tennessee, but I have been able to see school-age programs in South Carolina and West Virginia a couple of years ago.
Is that what that is?
Yeah. So school-age programs, yeah.
Yeah, I've only worked at Save for 2 years, so that was very new to me. I was like, I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, so our school-age programs that Rich is part of, they help kids with literacy support. So kids that are, we want to make sure that kids are reading at grade level, especially by the 3rd grade. I actually have a 4th grader this year, so that is something I was very focused on last year, was making sure he was reading at grade level. And one of the reasons why we focus on that within our U.S. programs is 3rd grade is really the milestone where kids, they have to stop learning to read and start reading to learn. So that's that kind of switch. So you want to make sure that kids are reading at grade level by the 3rd grade, and that's where a lot of our school-age programs focus. So we get, in the U.S., a lot of our programs are focused on making sure that kids are ready to learn going into kindergarten, and then when they are, in school, that they are, that they're reading at grade level, and that's what our school-age programs are making sure they do. We also provide in-school and after-school reading support, literacy support, and have some other programs like Healthy Choices, which are kind of exercise-based programs in our after-school programs. And hopefully I'm getting that all right. And Rich, please correct me if any of that is wrong.
I think it's neat too because just so TikTok knows, you guys we have like the most views and interaction over on TikTok. No one is on YouTube or Twitch. So TikTok, you are the better platform. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Winning. We are very much winning. It seems like everyone's kind of like getting sorted, getting squared away. He's got some chalk spray, tape. Excuse me. Welcome on into the TikTok. If you're just joining us, we are going to be attempting a Guinness World Record for not us, no. The Rossetti brothers. One of them's about to walk past. This one's Angelo. Almost. He's on stream.
Oh.
It's delayed.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I love it. Oh, I'm so good at this. We're just going to test our other scenes real quick, and I'm going to also add some stuff as well.
Ooh, that's interesting. That goes to like... So I am also on my phone watching TikTok so we can see what it ends up looking like.
That's awesome.
That switched to something that's showing like your computer.
There we go. Oh, hello. There it is.
Whoop. Oh, yep. Erica is fixing some of the scenes so that hopefully we can get some fun viewing happening. All right, we got some on the ground local media as well. Very cool.
Let's do it first. Yeah.
So the brothers are starting to get ready. I think they might do a quick interview.
It went so tiny.
Professional streamer right here.
Observing environment.
Yeah, no worries.
Nice. Which court is this court here or is this court?
It's this one.
It's just delayed. Interesting.
Yeah, because you can see us right here.
Oh.
They just can't see us.
Yeah. All right. So if you are just tuning in, this is going to be a Guinness World Record attempt for Save the Children. It is the Rossetti brothers, Tori and Angelo Rossetti. They have a few world records under their belt already. This is going to be an attempt for the longest pickleball rally, which we think they have to hit the ball 10,000 times between the two of them. So we think that is the record. But once we get someone over here who knows more about pickleball, we're going to ask them. So if you're just hearing about Save the Children for the first time, if this managed to make it on live feeds and that's where you're tuning in from, welcome. We are an international organization that helps kids all around the world and in the U.S. We've been around for over 100 years, and we help address all the needs of kids who are growing up in poverty. So we're making sure kids have everything they need: basic education, food, healthcare. We respond during emergencies of all kinds all over the world. From conflict zones to things like droughts, natural disasters, earthquakes, just making sure kids have what they need. And we are here to watch a world record attempt from the Rossetti brothers for a pickleball rally.
We got a picture of them being interviewed. I'm good, thank you. Oh, you're fine.
I might try and get so, what did I just do?
I don't know. What'd you do? Okay, I'll turn it down since it's just me and you. Hello. One of our coworkers came over to make sure I had, if I needed any snacks or anything like that, but I am good to go. Hope everyone is doing well. We should be getting started soon. We're getting a little late of a start, but that's okay. We want to make sure that I'm going to put this up too, just in case. We want to make sure that we're all prepared. Once they start, they're not going to be stopping. So hopefully it goes well. I'm happy that it's not me because I would be super nervous. Oh, a little like inside too. Rossetti brothers are twins. So this is definitely, I don't know about you, I would never want to be in a situation where if I ruined the world record for my siblings. So they have a very, very true and amazing bond as brothers.
They're twins.
They're twins. That's what I was saying. I was saying if it was me and my siblings and I dropped the ball, I'd be so nervous. I would be so nervous. I couldn't do it.
I mean, there are many things about this that I could not do.
Yeah. Thank you, Vivian. I hope you are doing well today. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for the roses. That's very kind of you. We really appreciate all the support. If you guys are new to Save the Children, don't know what Save the Children is, Save the Children is a global organization. We also work here in rural America. We also respond to a variety of emergencies. Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much, everyone, for joining the TikTok Live. This is Save the Children's first TikTok Live. So we really appreciate you all being here and supporting the live and taking the time to stop in and chat with us. We are on all social media platforms. If you go to Save the Children, we are on YouTube, we're on Twitch, we're also on Instagram. Just make sure you are following Save the Children US. Oh yeah, I should do that too with my personal.
I'm putting on the stream team Twitter now.
Okay.
So looking for something to watch.
Skip. Let's I'm logged into the Save the Children, which I need to go to mine.
How do you spell Paralympics?
Para?
P-A-R-A.
Yeah.
And then,
I think then it's just Olympics.
is it?
I think so.
It's telling me that might not be true.
Okay, hold on.
Let's try this again. I'm gonna look it up.
How do I share this?
It's not. It's Paralympics.
Wait, how do you share this to your friends? Me, the professional TikToker. Lisa, how do I do this?
How do you share what?
How do you do share?
You did share down there.
I did, but it wants me to share it to specific people.
No, you can do it to down there.
Oh.
That's what I did. That's how I'm doing it to. Yeah.
Oh. I see. Okay, cool. Very neat. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live. Welcome on in. He had one of those cameras where it's on his, like, looking for so much between the Olympics, Paralympics, check out the Rossetti Brothers. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Let's get that news now.
TikTok is having the most engagement. We have been live on Twitch. We have 4 viewers. And we have 4 concurrent viewers on YouTube with 12 views total.
But it doesn't, interestingly, it doesn't like. Yeah. We are just playing with the different platforms, the different streaming platforms.
It's nice to play. Do. Now I'm trying to think about what I'm gonna have for lunch.
There's a food court.
Yeah, I saw. I guess I can switch it to this camera. This might be a better viewing pleasure currently. Maybe not. Just kidding. We'll keep it right here. It is ironic. Wait, how many follows does our TikTok have? So almost 30K, and it's getting the most engagement. And
That's
then
more than our YouTube or Twitch.
yeah.
Yeah. Like that's more than our YouTube or Twitch followers.
Well, that's what I'm trying to like, because we have just as many subscribers, but I don't think it pushes the notification.
Yeah.
And I don't think people are used to watching lives on YouTube. I think people are used to watching lives on TikTok
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Hello. Doing well.
Great. Thank you so much for coming. So we have the up there, and let me check. So it's actually, it was supposed to start at 12. They're running a little bit behind.
We have more press coming to see Guinness attempt. Lisa is over there handling press, trying to get that sorted out. There's a lot of moving wheels. This is also the hard part, is having to do like a Guinness World attempt while you have like presses here and there's so many people around like talking and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm okay for now.
They're going to do one more interview.
Are they interviewing you?
No, thank goodness. No, nobody wants to. Why would anyone want to interview me? No.
Because you know everything about Save the Children.
Knows more about Save the Children than I do.
Wait, how long has Satori been working for Save?
I think over 15 years.
Oh, wow.
I think he might be at like 17.
Oh, wow. They're doing another interview. Actually, what I could do, hold on, I can show you.
Oh, getting fancy.
We're getting fancy. Ironically, I almost called everyone chat. But that's like the new thing too. Like
I feel like
live
that's
stream.
gone beyond.
It
just-
has
yeah.
gone beyond live streamers. That's the funny part.
Ooh, and we are almost at 100 people who have contributed to the donations today. So thank you so much. If anyone is doing donations from watching, we are definitely so grateful for any donations that you can contribute to Save the Children. All right, so Erica's doing a fancy thing right now.
Potentially. Maybe. I help if I turn it on. Let's see. Hey.
Oh, I just clicked out of our live. Why did that happen? Okay.
Why is this here though? So this isn't working. It's unfortunately not working for here. So let me see if I do this.
Oh, they're done the interview now.
There it is.
There you can see.
I fixed it.
No, I ran away.
Oh. She ran away from the camera, and then I got her back in the camera, and she's like, "Why?" Meow.
You're good.
I can actually see how many viewers. So right now it's got 4.
Yeah, it,
So
it
it's-
fluctuates.
Yeah. Well, but so I don't know if you can see it on
Yep, it's
there.
right here.
Oh, you can. Oh, cool. Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. I was gonna ask if you wanted to. Does it? When I want to go wireless and walk around.
Yep, so when you want to go wireless, we got this.
Perfect.
So, because you do podcasting and stuff, so you know how to do it. Turn on. Okay, so you are good to go.
Awesome.
It is hot.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. He is talking. Oh,
Hey.
hi.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
This is how streaking happens. And this time, how long do you do this?
And combining it,
Yeah.
probably like a total of like 2.5 hours.
So you can do three at once.
Yes. I could do more than that, Paul. I got it on
I know. I
deck.
realize you can multitask.
Oh, wait, here's the.
Are you going live?
Instead of practice, we did media interviews. Media is more important than practice. Now we're going to start.
All right.
How are you? I'm Alec, by the way.
Yeah, I'm Paul.
I
Nice to
Sorry,
An-
I'm right in front of your.
Angela and I
We're in-
co-host the podcast together,
Oh, cool.
the Fail First podcast. So Andy's my coach as well.
Great.
So really, we teach
Do you want
mental
me to
skills
mute
together. What?
Do you want me to mute your mic? Hold on.
Can I?
Okay, it's off. It's, you have to like do it here, but I have it off. So they have started the official attempt. This is it. Let me remove this. We are going. And then I'm going to get the timer going for the elapsed time. Just give me 1 second to get that up for everyone. I'm just got to fix the timer because it is wrong. So we're going to go back.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, 1 second.
Am I right over the top of it? So if I speak, it's.
Let's see. Oh. Okay, I see what that is. Okay.
Check. Yep. Check.
Should be working. Shows it's
Okay,
working. There's
perfect.
gonna be like background noise. 'cause of
That'll be
everything
okay.
else. If you're on this microphone, it's easier to mute. You just tap it, and you see it's red.
Oh, okay. Do you have you have one of those?
I only have one of these, but if you want this one and I can use that one, we're totally fine with that. So it's really up to you.
That works.
Okay.
Let's switch.
Yeah.
'Cause then I can mute myself in and out.
Okay. Okay.
And then if I have to go on the go, I'll grab the other one.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. So we have me on mini mic, and then our professional podcaster is going to come and chit chat with us. Tell us about pickleball, because I know nothing about pickleball. Absolutely nothing.
So I guess I am the professional podcaster that has been introduced here. My name is Alec Martone. Angelo and I play a lot of pickleball and also teach a lot of pickleball. So definitely have a lot of in-depth knowledge when it comes to the pickleball space, that's for sure. You have to, right, when you dedicate hours and hours and hours to it.
Oh God, that was scary. They said sorry. I got scared already.
They were.
Oh no. But they can't go past that white line, right? That's like
cannot.
part of the rules.
Yeah. So in pickleball, it's called the kitchen line. So in here, the reason that they wanted to do the record like this is because it's the only way that it actually represents real pickleball, right? If they were standing inside the kitchen volleying back and forth, it wouldn't necessarily be realistic. But here, what some of that Angelo preaches, and the reason that he apologizes is because they're really focusing right now on having what Angelo calls a 3 on contact. So if you think about the sweet spot of the paddle, that's what Angelo considers a 3. And if you think about what a miss hit is, everybody knows what a 1 is. A 1 is when a pickleball hits the edge of the paddle, it just dies on impact and falls straight to the ground usually. Everybody knows what a 1 is. However, here, Angelo had somewhat of an in-between a 1 and a 3, probably around a 2. So he knew that there was a miss hit there. And he was just looking to make Et aware in order to save it.
Oh, so he knew it was going to be a mishit.
So if Et right now at least knows that Angelo has a miss hit, he can say red alert, adjust. But if he doesn't know, Et's just going to stay in his flow and keep hitting the same shot over and over and over again. So something that I can comment on that Et and Angelo are doing right now, people talk about volleys in pickleball, but there's an assortment of different volleys that actually occur. So right now they're what is just really like a more of a punch volley or a push, so same thing there just happened. Et had a little bit of a miss hit, recovery, at least let Angelo know so he can adjust his swing pattern.
Oh, something I
Angela is also the one wearing the sunglasses. Nifty shades. So to comment on this, on our podcast the other day that we recorded yesterday, he shows up in the shades. And I'm
In the shades?
in the shades. And I'm like, Angela, what are you doing on the podcast in the shades? Now, this is like, what I'll get into is there's some things that are just outside of your control, and that's also something that Angela preaches. But he shows up, he's telling me this entire story, and he's gonna be mad that I'm ratting him out right now. He tells me this entire story about, you know, it takes out the blues, highlights the yellows, and you get that right here, right? With the ball being the way that it is. Takes out the blues, highlights the yellows. However, I found out the day before he's trying to make an at-home concoction to kill weeds. Swear to God. And he got a piece of salt on his eye. So he didn't want to show up on the podcast with his eye all out of whack. Now, the other part is, you think about this. Imagine if that happened today.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? And trust me, he'd be out there. He'd be out there with one eye operational.
Yeah.
But I found out at practice the next day, the actual reason he wore the sunglasses to the podcast was because he was trying to create weed killer at home and got some in his eye.
That's horrible. That would be really rough. I do not recommend.
But definitely today, so as you can see with the ball being the yellowy neon that it is, it's certainly, if you could remove all the blues and any other light out of it, it's going to make that ball pop.
Yeah, it's kind of like how gamers have gamer glasses.
Exactly. And the biggest thing is we'll get to a point where, and Angelo and Et talk about it being about an hour in, your eyes start to play tricks on you, right? Because you've been staring at one position for so long. So you can think about it yourself. If like you're staring at the TV for a long time or watching TV for an extended period of time, your eyes kind of get a little fuzzy, a little bit blurry.
Yeah.
Same thing here. So anything that they could do to minimize the strain physically on their eyes is going to be heavily beneficial.
So, oh my goodness, I can't. It scares me.
They've had a couple already, but nothing too crazy. Couple slight misses. But
I will say in probably another 10 minutes, I'll go check.
they said it'll take them about 2 hours. And they've, from talking with both of them, their pace has increased significantly. So you can imagine that if your pace is faster, you're going to finish quicker, but ultimately the chances of a miss hit is probably higher, right? You don't have as much time to react to the ball. However, on the opposite side, if you're hitting it super slow back and forth, it draws out the record itself, and now your body gets into play, right? Your fatigue on your feet, your knees are getting fatigued, your hand is getting fatigued, your shoulders getting fatigued, your eyes are. So if they can find a pace, which they have, as you can see somewhere in the middle, it allows them to maximize focus and minimize fatigue.
How much do those paddles on average weigh? Because that's another thing I've thought about, like the fatigue on their wrist.
Really big save. Wow, that was a big save by Angela.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that one was an aggressive one.
yeah.
So, how much do they weigh? So
Yeah.
paddles these days roughly weigh about 8 ounces. Lowest side, they're like 7.5 ounces. Highest side, 8.5. Now, someone like Annalie Waters, I will tell you, however, so she's the world #1 right now on the women's side. She puts lead tape, so a lot of people customize their paddles with lead tape these days for balance, meaning the paddle's a little more stable in your hand, for more power, and just really feel all around. But she puts lead tape around her entire paddle. And I will tell you, if anybody picks that up, it's like swinging a sword.
Oh, wow.
It's heavy, so I would say maybe her paddle's somewhere between 10 11 ounces. I'm not positive. I don't think she's ever spoken about how heavy it actually is. But either way, she's swinging a heavy racket.
What did they say?
So I think he was just notifying him of another miss. I wasn't sure what come out of his face, but Ed did have a slight miss hit.
This is stressful.
Very
This is
stressful.
like watching my son plays lacrosse, and he's the goalie.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's so stressful because sometimes that ball really whips towards him, and he's 10, but he's like, with all his gear, he's like so stocky looking. It's so funny.
So I come from a hockey background, so I get it.
Okay.
Just all the gear.
Yeah.
How's the smell in your car afterwards?
Good. I wash it though. That's like I wash it. I soak it.
I think the music volume is so high.
Is it? Here.
I hear myself.
Right here. There you go. Tell me what this is. This is the World Guinness attempt at pickleball volley.
Yeah, so what we have going on right here, give them more background on the Rossetti brothers as a whole. So this is their 4th Guinness World Record attempt. They've already had 3 attempts. Their first attempt was a tennis rally, baseline to baseline. So that was over 25,000 shots. It took them, I think, about 16 hours. So that one was grueling, right? That's a
16 hours?
long time, really long time. So it is insane when you start to think about it. And then the crazy 2 guys that they are, they said, you know what, we're gonna set another record. So they went from volley or rally, which is just like baseline to baseline, balls bouncing once and back over, to now they did a tennis volley, similar to what they're doing today, just in tennis. And that took them, oh my God, that was a big save. So I will tell you, definitely the intent was not to have any backhands. So Angela just had to take a backhand. Big recovery there. But yeah, so then they went in and they did their second tennis one, which was volleys like this, which was over 16,000 back and forth. Took them, I think, about 10 or so hours. Sometimes I get a couple of the records confused because they have so many now. But the third one was pickleball. So what you're viewing right now is them volleying it back and forth. They were doing this and letting it bounce. So it bounced in the kitchen, they put it back over, they'd bounce in the kitchen. And the kitchen here is that gray area that you're seeing between them. It's also referenced as the non-volley zone. So they were doing it off the bounce there, and now they're doing volley. So off the bounce was over 16,000 balls.
Oh, wow.
And that took them about, I think, 14 hours, 12 to 14 hours. But that one's a lot slower paced, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Big save. That was actually a crazy save. I got a little distracted.
I'm getting distracted just because it's like my short circuit in my brain's like bouncing ball, bouncing.
Yeah.
You know, like back in the day where they had like the DVD screen and you would like see like, is it gonna touch the corner?
Has it
Like,
pinged all over the place?
Has it pinged all over the place?
Oh my God.
Tell him, let him cook. I will verbally say that to the microphone, but not to them. I don't want to distract them. But they are cooking. They're cooking real good.
They are cooking right now. So a couple other things you'll notice here too.
Scary.
So really what Ed did right there is you can notice is Ed is being a little bit more of a backboard for Angelo, even though he picks up the pace sometimes. But if they have a miss hit, they're throwing the ball a little bit higher here, just to give them more time to recover and get back in place and then find rhythm again. But the big thing here is that tennis is not even close to the same feel as pickleball. What I mean by that is, in tennis you have strings on a racket, right? So no matter where you hit it on the strings, the ball is going to go.
Yeah.
It's going to come off the racket. The unfortunate part about, and what makes this record so much more challenging, is that on a pickleball racket, pickleball paddle is really what it is, if you hit the ball on the edge, it's dying. Like, that ball is not going anywhere. So what makes this one super challenging is if they don't hit the sweet spot on it or relatively close, that ball is gonna literally hit the edge of the paddle and die and fall on the ground.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so the margin for error when it comes to a miss hit with the pickleball and the paddle is much, much larger than with a tennis racket and a tennis ball. Because a pickleball is also plastic, right? So it's not as forgiving. So I would say out of all the records, from like a skill level standpoint, this one probably takes the most skill.
I was going to say, this one seems like you have like there's not a lot of room for like mess ups.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Because before you said they were at like back of the court and there was like one bounce, right?
Yes. So when they did their first tennis one, you can imagine going from baseline to baseline, they can give the ball a little time, put big arc on it.
Yeah.
And that's just more about not getting too tense where you hit one short, right? Here, because it's in the air, if they miss hit it on the edge of that paddle at all, they're done.
Yeah.
They're done. Another huge save by it.
See, I was telling Lisa, I was like, I don't think I'd be able to do this with my siblings. The amount of like trust you have to like give to your sibling,
Yeah.
and then like if you do mess up too, it's one of those things like you have to go home and deal with that. Like you can't be like it's your fault we didn't get the world record. Like you can't.
And so there's the couple of the tennis ones they failed back in the day, and Et still talks about it. It hit the net. So here's what happened. Et kind of had redemption. One of them, the tennis world record, they failed and had to do it over again. Just hit the ball into net short. Another one, Angelo hit into the net. So hit the left court on the top, the white stripe right on top of the net, and it went over. And Et saved it and kind of lunged for it and threw it up in the air, and then they restarted and kept going.
Okay.
So
Is there for this attempt? Is there how far they can't back up?
no, so
Okay.
if they wanted to back up more, they surely could. What ends up happening is the chances of them hitting it in the net, you can imagine, just get higher because they're farther away from it. So the distance that needs to be covered is a lot greater. But here, they're just doing what people would call is like a punch volley. So rather than you trying to like create spin on the ball, you're just pushing it forward.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that, putting a spin on the ball too.
So like normally, if you had time, you would put let's say you're playing a regular rec match or competitively, you'd want to put some sort of usually top spin or back spin on the ball, only because it's more challenging for the opponent to deal with, right?
Yeah.
They got to make an adjustment to it. Rather than if it's flat, they can pretty much do whatever they want with it. Here, though, they don't want any spin or minimum because when it hits the paddle face, it's going to cause the ball to come off differently every single time.
Yeah.
So they're just punching or even pushing the ball back at each other. That's really it.
It's funny. Did they tell you about their playlist?
So I was just going to ask you, do you know why they're wearing headphones
Yeah.
then?
So they have a playlist synced up for like one of them. So each of them has one ear pod
which is awesome.
Yeah.
And what they try and create is just a state of flow, right? They're trying to become just like yin and yang with each other right now. And something that they talk about in a previous record, one of the tennis ones, Angelo is actually hitting topspin to Et, and Et was hitting backspin back. So you can imagine the spin, though, when you're hitting topspin at somebody, if you hit backspin back, it's the same direction of the ball. So if you're talking about yin and yang, it is just a continuous spin. So they talked about just being so in sync on that.
Yeah.
Hitting spin one way, backspin the other, and just continuous in each other's flow right on that ball.
You know how they talk about like the twin telepathy too? That's like another thing I always wonder. I was like, does that come into play since they are twins?
So you'll have
Like
to.
gives them the edge.
Oh my! So there's such a good example of this. So on the first episode on YouTube of the Fail First podcast, with myself, Angelo, and Et usually is a guest every so often. On the very first one, Et calls in from the phone and Angelo's on the screen, and I asked him about twin telepathy, and Angelo's holding up a number on the screen. I think it was 3 fingers. And he goes, Et, how many fingers am I holding up? And he goes, 3. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. There's absolutely no way he knew that.
The Twitch telepathy is a thing. Or Twitch telepathy. Twin telepathy.
It's pretty cool. And they alluded to saying that they've known each other for so long and have been with each other for so many hours that they truly just know how each other operate and ultimately how they think, right? I don't think it's exactly like, hey, you're in the brain of the other person.
Yeah.
But because, like, you know your habits, you know how people operate, you know how your brother operates since you've been with him from birth, you get an idea of how they're going to think, for sure.
I was just going to say that too, just because they've been, siblings for so long, and they're such great, they're always cheering each other on.
So when I walked in today, I asked him about these socks.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what are these crazy socks you got going on? Do you know the full story behind the
I
socks?
have no idea. Do you?
So I kind of know briefly. There's someone else in
I
there.
love them.
I don't know if it's their immediate family or a close friend that also just went through a battle with cancer.
Oh, okay.
And I believe these socks are what they used in support of that.
Aw.
So because of that today, they are rocking the socks
Yeah.
for sure.
I see Angelo's like me, where he has compressions.
Yes, he does.
So anytime I'm flying, I have to wear compressions. And then for the longest times when I was running a lot, I had to wear shin compressions as well.
I'll be honest with you, they help more than people think.
They really do.
It just kind of takes the pressures off a lot of the nerves and muscles. So Angelo himself, he's gonna hate me for saying this, has some of the biggest feet I've ever seen on a human his size. I swear to God. And they are flat as can be.
Oh, that's rough.
So right now he's wearing, he's a touch shorter than me, so maybe 5'7" or 5'8", maybe 5'8". He wears a quadruple E size 12. 5'8" guy, quadruple E. So these shoes are twice the width of a regular shoe, and he has a size 12 foot, which is much. So his arches are just super flat.
Yeah.
So, anyways, long story short, the reason that he has the compression on is to really take the relief off of his feet.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing the best at trying to do
Because
right
he's
now.
gonna have this stand here for 2+ hours
Mm.
potentially.
You can imagine how it went when they were doing this for 16 hours.
Nothing.
With the tennis, yeah. So the actual ball, which is in the Tennis Hall of Fame in Springfield, there's nothing left to it. So you know how the tennis ball has fuzz on it?
Yeah.
Just rubber.
Oh, wow.
All that was left to that ball.
Oh, I wonder what this ball is going to look like afterwards.
So I believe they're using a Franklin X40. So anybody that knows pickleball right now, the whole thing with the balls is out of control. Everybody's trying to kind of promote their own ball right now. One tour is playing with one ball, one tour is playing with another. But I believe that they tried to just go with a ball that they're familiar with. So they set their last pickleball world record with this same ball. So I'll tell you the big thing here is if it cracks. So in practice, I think they were at roughly 7,000 volleys or so in practice, and the ball cracked.
Oh, wow.
Now, it depends on, hey, am I hitting that ball in the same exact spot every time?
Yeah.
Because if you are, the likelihood of it cracking is a lot higher. But if the ball's rotating more and there is more spin on it throughout, it's going to give the ball a little bit more relief. But the problem with some other balls are that they get oval. So the reason that they didn't want to use any of the balls that do that is because you can imagine if the ball is oval, it's going to bounce off the paddle differently every single time. And some of the pros in the game are, I'll say, a little bit aggravated with the ball that they're currently using on tour. Just because it takes weird hops sometimes. It gets oval pretty quickly. And you can imagine that if you're playing with a oval-shaped ball rather than a round one, like, think about if you're kicking a football and when it hits the ground, it bounces everywhere, right? It's really hard to predict where it's going to bounce. But this ball right here shouldn't get too oval, maybe a little bit, but really may I'll say has the chance at cracking deep into this volley. And something that Angelo and Ed accounted for was they know they only have roughly 200 to 250 balls or so after it cracks before it gets too bad and it's tough to volley. So that's the level of detail that they definitely put into this.
See, that's something a pickleball seller should jump on. Is can your pickleball last the Guinness World Record? It's like good marketing.
So I will tell you that we were definitely in talks with a few people in regard to that, especially the companies that are trying to push their ball, right? It's a great marketing ploy. And like you're putting it live to the test here, right?
Okay, so we are 30 minutes in. I'm gonna take y'all mobile. We're gonna go check to see what our count is.
of them I was gonna ask you. Yeah.
This one.
One thing David said. Make sure hardware accelerator. That's me. Yeah, because the feed is like good for the normal.
Yeah, so like, because hardware accelerator is normally like a web browser feature, but the way you have to have me open it isn't on a web browser. So I'll do some Googling and I'll double check how to enable that. After, hold on, because I'm gonna forget. I don't type it in.
So when you walk over there, they're at 1,500.
They were like 1,476. So actually, it's doubled, right?
Yes.
Oh,
You
so
guys only have one?
I did.
Yes, it's two.
I was sitting there. I was like, "There's no way they're only at 1,500."
Yes, if you ask Jared, each of them has half of it.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask them because, like, for me, I would be like, "Did I hit the button?" She just interrupted me. I don't know if I hit the button. Like, that would be me. So I was like, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna slightly go over here and just be very quiet. Hi. Okay. Thank you. It's good to see you too, Paul. It's going good. Yeah. Yeah, our TikTok is super engaging and YouTube has 20 consecutive viewers currently, which is really good.
How many?
20.
That's really good.
Yep.
What about the other one?
So TikTok went up to about 18, 20 at one point, but TikTok's one of those things where it'll like, it flexes and flows because people go in and out of it.
Right.
But let's do good.
Very next meeting.
Bye. Okay, 1 second. I am going to remove one of the cameras so I can double check this. Where is it? Let's see. So right now we're trying to fix the overhead camera. The camera is lagging a little bit.
What's that?
I'm trying to get the hardware acceleration to work for this because after a while it kind of lags out. But I googled it and I'm not seeing the things that it's telling me to do. I wonder if I'm gonna do this. I have a feeling I know why. Oh no. This is me. I was like, no, I don't need 2 monitors. Okay, we're gonna keep this here. Maybe this will help with keep it active and open. I think that might have had something to do with it. And if you're just joining us, this is the Guinness World attempt for the pickleball volley. They have to get to 10,000 volleys. They're currently 30 minutes in with 3,000-ish volleys. And we are Save the Children. We are a global organization. We also work here in rural America. We work in over 50 different countries. We're the global leaders in children's health, education, and protection from harm. We also respond to a variety of emergencies around the world. And then shout out to all the sponsors sponsoring today's event. Like I said, Pickleball America's here. Pledge is also sponsoring, as well as Halo, Save My Play, and the Rossetti Brothers. Engage Pickleball. Is that a paddle?
Yes, it is the paddle that they're currently using.
Okay.
And they also made them, they're using, if you noticed, some custom paddles with the Save the Children logo on them. And I believe after the event, or even during the event, you can go and buy them online, maybe?
Yes. And a portion of the proceeds do go to Save the Children as well. I'm gonna clip that because that was a good little thing. So I could be like, we talked about you in the live stream. Here you go, sponsors. Huh? That looks delicious. Oh, I have goats. Yeah. I milked them this morning before I came.
Good?
Yeah.
What made you get into the goat?
So,
Because I'll tell you.
yeah. So, we homestead, me and my family homestead. So we have chickens, we have goats, we have quail. We use the quail for eggs and meat. And then chickens we have for laying hens currently. Unfortunately, we have too many roosters. They go to the freezer camp, so there's that. Our family really likes to make sure we're eating very clean, looking at ingredients and things like that. So a lot of the times, for us, it's more affordable to just put the work into the animals and go from there. So we have two boy goats, Shaggy and Ramen. Those are the fathers, and then the mothers are Rolo and Rhea, and they both had twins this April, and their names are Cleopatra, she's the only girl, and then we have Delbert, which is after the first Navy chief, because my husband's active duty. So it's like the first ever Navy chief, and like the Navy chiefs are the goats, that's like their symbol. So, and then we have Reese's, and we have Sofa. Sofa was named by a community member for my content creation. They happened to guess the correct amount of goats per goat was going to have, so he got naming rights for them. So his name is Sofa. My kids call him Messy Sofa because my son's huge into soccer. So, and then Reese's is Reese's Ronaldo. Yeah.
I'd love to see you guys. You have a whole family.
Oh yes. Yes. We're keeping two of them, and the other two are going to camp. They're going to camp.
Politically put correctly.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I milk our goats. We use the dairy for drinking, cheeses, stuff like that.
So, I am lactose intolerant.
Oh, are you?
So what has been awesome is I eat so much goat cheese.
Yes. Because have you tried Have you tried a specific A2 dairy from a cow, like made sure?
Perfectly fine. You want to know why and how I discovered it? When I went to Europe and I was perfectly fine.
Yep. Yeah, it's the A2 gene in the milk. That's like why I'm eventually gonna get a dairy cow, and that's like I want a A2 dairy cow.
So what's the A2?
So the A2 is it's a protein in the dairy, and that's the protein that humans can digest easy enough. It's also why you can digest goat milk with no problem because it's naturally A2. When you get into dairy cows, you have dairy cows who are A2, A2A1, or A1A1. And a lot of the mass commercial farm dairy cows are A1A1, which is why a lot of times someone can find that they're lactose intolerant with milk they get in the store, but maybe not so much what they get from a local farmer, especially goat milk.
So what in our history led to us having two different strains? Was it like, hey, we genetically modified it to make it an A1, or is it just like different places where it came from?
I think I don't know specifically, but I want to say it's different cow breeds.
Okay.
Because there's like certain cow breeds are specific for dairy. It's the same with like goats. Like there's dairy goats, and then there's meat goats, and then there's like a hybrid. We have Nigerian dwarf goats, so they're the highest fat milk content goat. So it means I can actually get cream and I can make butter from my goats.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
This is an all-around conversation talking about save, goats, everything. It's cool too because Save the Children actually provides families in different countries with livestock, so that this way they can continue and even when we're not there, they have the tools and means to continue on.
Which is amazing, right?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts about our organization.
Yeah.
Is we really listen to the communities and what they need and what we can help provide them with for the ability to like continue on when we're no longer there.
What are a lot of the current needs that you guys are seeing?
So that's like so hard because like Save the
There's
Children-
so many.
so many.
Yeah.
Save the Children does so much. Hunger, of course, is always going. It's very prevalent.
Yeah.
Due to climate change, it's very prevalent. You're having extreme temperatures, so crops aren't getting the water they need. They're getting too hot, or they're getting too cold in the winter. You also have the fact of the economic climate, where a lot of families aren't able to afford food for their family. So there's so many different factors, but I do feel like hunger is a major one.
Is there like a cost per meal that gives people a good estimate on like, hey, if this amount of money allows this amount of mouths to be actually fed?
So because SAVE works in so many different places, it's always really hard for us to determine that.
I can see that.
But we do have different programs, especially where we work with malnourished children. So for malnourished children, we provide it's like a peanut paste, and that peanut paste you can provide just $3, and that peanut paste will feed a child for 7 days.
Wow.
So and it'll not the same packet, but
Yeah.
that many tastes. So it's things like that. Education, especially in rural America, is a high need.
Yeah.
We do a lot of like in-home programs and different other programs in rural America. But during the summer especially, a lot of the programs that the schools offer, if you're in rural America and you're not in school, you're not able to have those programs. So that's kind of like where SAVE will try to step in and make sure that they aren't being left behind during those summer times.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to know. The reason I asked the question is because I feel like knowing what your money can actually do makes so much more of a difference than just saying, you know what, I'm going to donate to a good cause, right?
Yeah.
Actually knowing what it's doing allows you to understand the impact that you're actually leaving.
Yeah, Save the Children is always very transparent about it. You can go to SaveTheChildren.org and we offer our financial records. We show you exactly where the money's going. There's so much information about the different programs we help with. But 85% of every dollar goes towards our programs.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's actually
We work
really good.
really, really hard to make sure that we provide as much as possible to our programs.
I will tell you that majority of nonprofits are not even close to that. It's a pretty.
It's a pretty
That's
substantial
that's
number.
awesome.
It's,
Yeah.
It's definitely something that we as an organization work very hard for.
Yeah.
And it's cool too, because like I love working for Save the Children. Being able to like help and witness something like this is not something you get in a normal day
Yeah.
job.
Not at all. I wanted to comment on something that I noticed. You see this picture that is hanging on the net in front of Angelo?
Oh, I didn't even see it.
So I didn't know that either. I believe there's also one on the other side of the tape, but I can't
Here,
really
I
see.
can show the channel. So there is a picture on the net.
It's right on this. Yeah, it's right on the.
It's right here.
Right there, yeah. And so that's actually, I believe, a picture of Angelo and Edere's mother. So, as well as for the Save the Children, they're both people that operate with a lot of purpose, right? And they make even other people's purposes theirs, right? They just really want to. They're just such great people. They want everybody around them to be the best version of themselves. Anyways, another piece of why they knew that they need to set this Guinness World Record is they lost their mother, I believe it was last year, 2 years ago, 18 months or so, to cancer as well. So they knew that they had to set this record in remembrance of her too.
That's so sweet as a mother. Like, that's so nice.
And they talk about how, like, what other drive do you really have to set a record like this without a greater purpose beyond yourself? And that's something that they really preach all the time. And they set their previous world record as well for their old mentor. His first name was Scott. I forgot his last name. Angelo's gonna be mad about that. Either way, they've been starting to do these Guinness World Records in remembrance of a lot of the people that have impacted them truly in their lives. So just to leave a landmark for them, as well as raise money for amazing causes like Save the Children and others. So they're just two incredible human beings.
What do you think their confidence level is right now? Do you think
So-
they're worried about it?
I probably know, so I'm gonna say no, and you probably noticed a completely different pattern here
Yeah.
than in those first couple thousands where there was a couple of mishits.
Yeah, and I haven't seen that or heard them say anything about a mishit recently.
So they are heavily falling into flow state right now. So what I mean by that is in the athletic realm, when you get to a point where you're just playing freely, right? You're not thinking about what's going on. You're just reacting really more instinctually and subconsciously to what's going on around you. They're just in flow right now.
Yeah.
As you notice, their shots are more consistent. They're not really wavering too much. They're highly focused. And that's when you know they're in a flow. That's really the only thing that's changed is they've settled in, they've found that flow state, and are now just in rhythm.
So what got you into pickleball?
That's a funny question. But my story is similar to a lot of people's. So realistically, I started playing pickleball with my family.
Oh, okay.
I went out there. They said, "Do you want to go play this game called pickleball?" I said, "I have no idea what that is, but sure, I'll go play." And then I reflected. I was like, I think I played this in gym class a couple times growing up. It's like, I remember it being kind of fun, but nothing too crazy. I went out there, and it's just a lot of people that have played these days. You have a blast. You get addicted really quickly. And I think that's because the barrier for entry to play is just so low.
Yeah. It's funny because like my older son, my 14-year-old, he has friends that got into pickleball, and then I found out that they were doing pickleball in school, and I was like, I didn't even know that was like a thing that people started doing this in school now. Too.
Right. So, and I think New Jersey may have been the first state that has now introduced pickleball teams in all of the high school districts. And that's really where the sport is going. But yeah, so my origin story started with like a lot of people's. A friend comes to you and says, "Hey, you got to try this. It's really fun." You're like, that's a weird name for a sport. But I'll go try it anyways. You go try it and you're addicted. You're hooked.
The ironic part is I hate pickles. I hate pickles. And I've never typed pickles so much until today.
Is there just any kind of pickle? Or you like
Any
cucumbers?
I love cucumbers. I will go down for some cucumbers,
Okay.
salt, pepper, sweet chili, hot sauce, whatever. And I do sweet relish on
Yeah.
my tuna. But pickles? No, can't do it.
I think there's something about a pickle with like a burger that, whatever it is about that combo, the classic American combo, I could do it every time.
My
Doesn't get old.
My sons will eat my pickles, and my husband has to fight them for them. So it's like I always have pickles to give out, but I hate
Yeah.
pickles.
You make those yourself too?
What's that?
You pickle your own pickles as well?
Yeah, I take my husband grows cucumbers from the garden, and I pickle them for him. Yes, it's
Awesome.
ironically. I do want to shout out David. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for the $250.
Thank you, David.
Myrene, I'm butchering. Do you know how to say this name?
I think it's Myrna.
Myrna, thank you so much for the $100 donation. Steve Rogers, love that name. $100 donation.
That's our counter along the way, our head counter.
Yeah.
Bald guy.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Steve.
Trish Farron, thank you so much for the $100. Jessica Seidman, $100 donation. Jacob, 100. Jessica, 25. Robert, 100. Oh wow, I missed a lot. I think these were also before the live too. So Paulette for the $10. Regina and Jeffrey, thank you so much for the $10 and $20 as well. And you guys can donate if you would like. You can go to rallyforcharity.org/donate, or you can do pickleball at 707070. And all proceeds are going to save the children through Pledge. Pledge is a wonderful platform that you can raise money through for any charity of your choosing. do is take you all on another field trip. We'll go check out our volley count again, just to see what we're at.
What time did they start? We gotta be about halfway, right?
Yeah, we're at 1
Okay.
hour and 4 minutes. I was just saying how I'm gonna take them on a field trip and go see the volley count.
I'll probably go walk around a little bit myself as well. Take some interviews, see how people are feeling. Looks like we got ladder play going on. It's a cool event here.
It was really nice. It's cool to see the families too. As like a mom, it's really cute. Okay, I'm gonna be setting you up with the mobile cam. honestly probably coming through because like pretty good. Just because like this microphone isn't the total best. Like unless you have like a dynamic XLR microphone, like no matter,
Like a boom mic.
yeah.
So this is off. Is it still on TikTok? Or
This
no?
is on. This is hot.
Your phone or?
Oh, my phone
No,
is
so
off.
Your phone is off. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's back on this. Mic is still hot. Fantastic. Oh, is it this mic?
Yeah.
It's coming from?
Yep, this microphone. This is TikTok chat. I have this open. These are the donations over here.
Okay. Oh, my mother-in-law.
Yes. I know that I recognize the last name. We talked about the sponsors. I got a Twitch clip for that as well.
I'm probably not going to talk about sponsors during this.
Probably not.
I will just chat.
This is YouTube chat, but there's not a whole lot happening with YouTube, so that's fine. Just make sure you keep this up or it starts to lag.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch anything. Like, while you're on, to be honest.
Just assume that the microphone is always hot too.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So if you go out here, there's a bunch of food places. Probably better than mall food.
Okay.
I went to a place, shout out Sandwich Maestro.
Sandwich Maestro.
Sandwich Maestro in Stamford, delicious. Lots of good options. So I would recommend that. That's to the right.
Is it warmer out there than it is in here? Okay.
Yes, it's hot and humid. It's actually pretty gross outside. So we are in the beautiful, air-conditioned Pickleball of America in Stamford, Connecticut. And I'm getting set up. All right. So for folks watching, hopefully you can hear me okay. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We are watching a Guinness World Record attempt from the Rossetti brothers, Ettore and Angelo Rossetti. They are trying to hit 10,000 hits on the panel, I guess. The last time I got an update, they were closing in on 3,000. So they've got to hit 10,000 to get the world record. And they are doing this in fundraising in support of Save the Children. Save the Children is a global organization. It works in over 100 countries, including the United States, helping to make sure kids have everything they need. So things like basic food, clean water, healthcare, education. We also do emergency response. Respond to emergencies here in the U.S. and globally. So responding to the needs of kids pretty much everywhere. So they are fundraising in support of Save the Children. You can see some donation links in the overlays, hopefully. And that is what we are doing here today. So thank you for tuning in. It's honestly really incredible what they're doing. They're gonna, if they make this attempt, it should take them a couple of hours of just, hitting back and forth. This would be their third Guinness Book World Record if they are successful today. They also have records in, I think, tennis volley and potentially pickleball volley as well. And this is a rally, not a volley, I think. So they cannot let the ball touch the ground. They cannot miss. If you're just tuning in, we are watching a world record attempt for the longest pickleball rally from the Rossetti brothers, so Tori and Angelo Rossetti. This is crazy because just sitting here hurts my back.
It's I've had to get up and loosen the legs a couple of times, that's for sure. What are they at? We're at about, I think, 6,000-ish?
I don't think so. I don't know, half an hour ago somebody said they were at like close to 3,000.
Okay.
So I think maybe
5?
in the 3s or 4s.
Okay. I know
That was when the other guy who was doing clicking when he was leaving.
switched.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for anybody that doesn't know, the Guinness World Record, you can't just like go out there and say, you know what, we're going to step on the court today and set a record. A lot goes into it. So they got to actually submit for a date of approval. Then you got to have official clickers for something like this to click. So on the other side, we have, thankfully, Steve and Joe, who we'll shout out here, who are just staring intently at Angelo and Ed, right? And clicking on every single ball. But they've truly found a rhythm. Earlier, probably I'll say the first couple thousand, they had a few close calls.
They had one
Close
recently.
calls. Oh, they did? Big
It
save?
wasn't super close, but they were, yeah. Because I could hear them talking back and forth. Like,
Yeah.
You can kind of hear it when they get off.
Mm-hmm. But it's cool how you see them go in and out of flow. And something that Angelo and I talk a lot about on the podcast is you're not always going to find flow state. And flow state is really like you're no longer thinking, right? Super
Yep.
subconscious. You're playing freely. they're just taking the shot. You'll see they'll go through sections where not much communication, the ball's just going back and forth the same manner the entire time. And their surroundings are blocked out. They're focused only on the ball. Not much emotion is either involved. But then, like any sport, if it is tennis or pickleball, you have highs and lows throughout that where you become more aware of your surroundings for a brief second, and that clicks you out of flow state, and you got to find your way back in.
Yeah. Almost like meditation.
Yeah.
Like it becomes a meditative.
Exactly.
hitting.
Exactly. So that's why these world records are a true mental grind.
Yeah.
More than anything, right? Because when you think about the shot they're taking, the shot itself is not that complex, right? They're just really pushing the ball, or what they call like a punch volley, more or less back and forth. But it's, you know, in the first hour in, your feet start to get sore, your hand starts to get sore, even sweaty, right?
Yep.
Your grip tightens up. Your eyes may be going a little bit crazy on you, may wander around, get a little blurry. So it's really all the bodily aches that you gotta ignore and just keep powering through it. But these two are pros at this by now, right? This is their 4th Guinness World Record. But I talked to them about the first time around, and a tactic that Angelo actually used was he removed the word miss from his vocabulary. Which is interesting to think about. It's like, how do you remove a word from your vocabulary? He told me the entire month leading up into the first world record, he didn't use the word miss. Crossed it out, didn't think about it, didn't even consider it. And when he got there that day, he said if someone told him and asked him what a miss was, he would say, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. That's super interesting.
Yeah, just trying to wire your brain to not even think about it or be directed towards it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, yeah. So Angel has a lot of mentors. Angel and Annette have a lot of mentors that they both thank heavily for the mental frameworks that they use. Angel is just more outspoken and teaches a lot of it, right? Mm-hmm. But gearing towards that, something that's big, and even in this event, is controlling your controllables. Is what they say all the time, and a lot of people do say it. So not to make it cliche, it's like what is actually in your control, and something that they emphasize is like your efforts in your control, right? Your attitude, being grateful to do an event like this. Like, this is so
Food,
cool.
Sleep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that being said, stuff that's outside of your control is, let's say there's people playing pickleball all around us right now. A ball flies on over to the court, and that's distracting. That's out of their control. They can't really control a ball flying over. They can do the best of their ability.
Right.
And let's say the lights go out, right? Let's say the air conditioning kicks on, there's big gusts of wind. You can't necessarily control that. You can do your best to prepare for it, but you can't control those elements. Well, by knowing what you can control, it just gives you grace and peace out there, right? Being really grateful for the moment.
There's times that I'll watch the ball kind of not go in like the perfect arc, and it's just it's stressful.
The anxiety builds, right?
I wasn't here for the previous attempts, so I haven't watched that. I know I think the previous attempt, which they didn't quite make, they'd had an audience for that, but I wasn't there for that.
Okay, for one of their practice sessions?
No, for one of their previous
Records?
Record attempts. Yep. So I think the last attempt that they have, which I think they have a record for it, but it's not for what they set out to do.
You're right. And then was that the one where there was miscounting by accident, or like they didn't add it correctly, or something like that? Because I remember Angela telling me a story of they asked for where they were at, and they let them know where they were at, but it was actually a little bit off, so they ended earlier than they needed to, but stuff you can't necessarily control. But they set back out, and they've done a couple of the records they did multiple times. The tennis, I think it was the first tennis one. They actually failed the first time. I believe it was 2007, and then they actually set the record in 2008, I believe.
I think maybe it was the 2007 one. That's the one I was thinking of. Where they hadn't made it.
But they failed the first time and went back out there and did it all over again. And that's really the framework that a lot of what Angela and myself teach today is all geared around the narrative of failure and using it as your superpower, right? Because you're only going to learn from it. It's only really failure if you let it make you quit, or if you don't learn something from it to go try again.
Do you teach with Angela?
So I do now, yeah. So originally, Angela and I met through one of my good friends, Jared. He's actually coached by Angela as well. So Angela coaches me right now in pickleball while I'm pursuing it at a professional level. And we are also co-hosts of our podcast together, which is the Fail First podcast. Yeah. So we've just really tried to use that as a platform because Angela has all these great frameworks. And when I met him, I was like, dude, we need to tell more people about this. Like, we need to share this. This stuff's awesome. So the two factors have been really me taking everything that I've learned from him and applying it real time to pickleball, and then also talking about it live on YouTube, and basically saying, hey, here's exactly how I applied it real time. Here's what happened. Here's what worked for me. Here's what didn't work for me. And for Angelo, he's also,
What's that baby?
I believe the GoPro died.
Hey,
It looks like it just needs to be plugged in. But yeah, that was it.
I'm not touching.
No, you don't.
I'm not touching the setup.
But yeah, I believe that's the only thing that shut off. But yeah, and then Angelo's more of the coaching figure, mentor figure, because he's got all the frameworks pretty much to a T in his brain. And then I'm applying them real time and we're talking about them. And there's some stuff, like, for example, there's some things where I test some of his frameworks pretty heavily, meaning we go back and forth and debate on if something should be added or if something should be removed. So like his Eagles framework, he calls it, is all about the factors that are in your control. So it's effort, A, attitude, G, gratitude, L, learning, E, enjoyment, and S, sportsmanship. And that has been adapted now. I was like, that's great for me to know, but like, what am I working towards, right? So now it's Eagles F, and the last thing is freely, because what you're trying to do by knowing what's in your control is play freely. We talk about flow state, right? You're trying to use the elements to get you in a state where you play freely, and you're subconscious, you're instinctual. You're not thinking about much besides just reacting. So there's plenty of them that we've adapted together over the years, over the past year or so, which has been great. And they're going to keep iterating, right? Some people, like even other coaches, challenge your perspective on things and force you to consider and rethink and adapt.
So one question.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about pickleball.
Yeah.
So when you say you play professionally, is there, because I know pickleball is popular among different ages and different generations.
Yeah.
Do you do it, like, is there ages like that professionally, or is there, like, are there leagues where it's like, this age, seniors league, or, youth league, or anything like that?
Yeah, so pickleball, the reason pickleball is so awesome is because every age group can play. Every single one. And, the court's smaller. You can adapt your game styles to really the size of the court and the fact that the ball can only be hit so hard it's plastic, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, there is the senior tour, which is 50 plus.
Okay.
And then there is the standard tour, which is pretty much anything below that, right? Now, in your local area, you 100% have leagues. You probably have plenty of rec play, which is just like, hey, go to the court, see who's out there playing. Usually it's referenced as open play. You go play for a couple hours, you meet some people around your skill level, and then before you know it, you're in a group chat texting every weekend saying, hey, can you play again? Right? But all skill levels, all age groups, there is totally something out there for you. So a couple places locally that I work with, they just established a senior league, right, where it's only seniors. They come in, they have their team. A lot of them are actually what is referenced as Major League Pickleball format now. So all that is, it's a cool approach. It's a team approach to pickleball. So rather than you having what is, right, tennis reference, you have singles and doubles, right? Rather than just your standard singles or doubles, you actually have a team of 4. So that team consists of 2 guys and 2 girls. And you play a men's doubles game, a women's doubles game, and 2 mixed doubles games. How that works is you get a point for every game your team wins. So you can imagine with there being 4 total games, you could split 2 and 2, right? Then you go to what is called the Dream Breaker, and it's basically a battle in singles. So everybody on your team gets to play a little bit of singles, and then the winner of that, which is really the tiebreaker, takes the whole thing. So the thing that's cool about it is you're playing as a team of 4, and you're on the sidelines for some games rooting your team on. You're playing, your other team members on the sidelines rooting you on. So that whole element is really, really cool. And if you love pickleball and you're a pickleball junkie like myself out there, I would go watch that format on YouTube or anywhere else. It's Major League Pickleball. And you'll probably get a minor league pickleball event coming your way too, which you can participate in at a rec level, which is super fun. You know, you come up with a fun name. I think there was like the Red Hot Chili Dinkers that one team came up with, right? Like play on words involved with pickleball. You go get your own jerseys made. You go out there. There's team camaraderie. Maybe you bring a few juice boxes with you, and you have a good time. But yeah, it's a really, really cool environment. Yeah, like some of the teams on tour, they're like one team's the Dallas Flash. You have the Texas Ranchers, the Orlando Squeeze, Arizona Drive. And what's cool about it now is if you live in any of those areas, you can go rep your local pickleball team, just like any other franchise.
Yep.
And that's definitely where the sport is going. So anybody that is tuning back in with us, the official attempt for the new Guinness World Records title that you're watching is for the longest pickleball volley rally. And they're currently working their way towards 10,000 volleys, which is kind of crazy. We believe they're somewhere between the 5,000 and 7,000 mark right now, so we probably have 30 minutes to 45 minutes left. But they're going to keep going. And this is their 4th one, so Angela and Ed are definitely pros at it. And if you are in the area, we are currently doing this at Pickleball America in Stamford, Connecticut.
Enjoy the sushi, Erica.
Yeah.
The other host is out grabbing some food. She's set up the stream. We think maybe the GoPro died, but it looks like, video is still good, but I'm not touching the setup.
I'm getting sushi. And there's, to build on that, I believe Sally's Pizza from New Haven is also scheduled to deliver
Oh, really?
lunch. Yes, I think shortly.
Oh, nice.
And there's also, so we're attached to a mall in the facility that we're in as well. There's also a food court that you're able to grab anything in here as well.
I went out and there was a great sandwich shop.
Awesome.
Out there that I don't remember the name, but we can give a shout out to good sandwiches.
So if you are in
Sandwich Maestro.
the Sandwich Maestro.
Stamford, Connecticut. Great. They did a great job.
So if you are in the Stamford area and if you are getting lunch at the Sandwich Maestro, come bring that sandwich on over to Pickleball America. Have a good time. We got rec play going on. We got a little bit of family play going on. We even have a ladder league going on in the background.
You can donate. There's going to be a raffle later on. I think we're raffling off some custom pickleball paddles.
And they're pretty cool. So the paddles that Angela and Annette are currently playing with are Engage Pickleball Paddles, one of our sponsors for the event, and they created a few custom paddles. One with, actually a couple with Save the Children logo on them. So currently Ed and Angela are using those. And then there's others as well. I believe there's one that's red. The red one's pretty cool.
Yep.
And I think there's a couple other that also are being auctioned off, which is great.
Once Erica gets back, I've got to go donate for the raffle. If I get it, giving it to my mother-in-law who likes playing pickleball.
I did early for the same reason. I was like, my parents would kind of like this. But yeah, but if you aren't able to make it, feel free to hop online, and you can go to rallyforcharity.org/donate, and feel free to support our cause. So all 100% of the proceeds go to Save the Children, and really that's what Angelo and Annette are here for, and as well as their mother. So they lost their mother a couple years ago as well. And if you see, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a picture that we were talking about earlier hanging on the net cord, and I believe that's a picture of their mother.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are a couple of individuals that operate from a high level of purpose. They're pretty incredible people.
Tori's been an employee at Save the Children, I think, for probably about 17 years.
A long time.
Long time, yeah.
When he told me that, I was like, you're kidding me. I was like, no.
Yeah, he's actually, pretty incredible because he's this kind of visionary in the tech and social media space and, very aware of sort of tech trends. So he has started Save the Children on social media, early days.
Yeah.
And then had moved on to working with YouTube gamers, Twitch streamers, and then crypto. So he kind of is one of those, tech visionaries and keeps helping move the agency forward, which has brought in a huge amount of support. It's really helped Save the Children grow and become as well known as it is, and then that, helps drive donations to help kids all over the world.
Yeah, because Save the Children's a pretty large nonprofit in comparison, right?
Yeah, we work in over 100 countries,
Okay.
Including the U.S. I think in the U.S. we have, terrible with numbers, but I think we've probably got between 600 and 700 employees.
Okay.
Including we operate Head Start and early Head Start programs in a number of states. So those are early learning centers for 4 and 5-year-olds to make sure that they're ready for kindergarten. So that employee number includes those employees.
That's amazing. You could also, I forgot to mention this, but if you're on your mobile phone, an easy way to also get there, if you don't have a computer in front of you, or if it's challenging to get to rallyforcharity.org/donate, you can text Pickleball to 707070, and you could also make your donation there. We got a good bit of pickleball going on now.
Yeah, there's actually people been kind of flowing in. It's great.
I'm gonna have to walk around and possibly take some interviews. See what everybody's got going on.
So when you play, do you play here? Are you in this kind of area? Or
So
I don't even
no.
know where Angelo lives. I know where Tori lives, but.
So Angelo is more towards the Hamden area
Oh,
of
okay.
Connecticut.
Yep.
I can't remember if he lives in Hamden, but he's at least in that part of the state. I myself, I'm in the Brantford area.
Okay.
So this is like an hour or so
Yeah.
for me, maybe
I
a
live outside
touch
of New
less.
Haven, so I'm
Okay.
up in that, up in that area as well.
Maybe a touch less. Ooh.
All right, I am off the. I get to get
Off
off
the
the
hook?
clock in a minute.
What?
Are you gonna go eat and then? Okay. Never mind. Gotta stay until Erica eats. She's the streaming pro. So this has been live for almost 3 hours. I think they've been playing for about 2. So for anyone just tuning in, they've got to get to 10,000 hits to get the Guinness record. Lost rhythm a bit there, but they got it back.
Did you hear what Angelo said?
No. But anytime they talk to each other, it's because something was off.
Yeah. It looked like they were talking about zones. So I believe they have a zone which starts at like 12 inches above the net. And if it's in that zone, they're saying green zone, meaning that easy recovery. If they say red, that means they're in trouble.
Okay.
And they're really asking for extra help.
they got a little off rhythm there again, but are getting back to it. For anyone tuning in who hasn't heard before, we are watching a Guinness World Record attempt at the longest pickleball rally from the Rossetti brothers, so Tori and Angelo Rossetti. And they have to do 10,000, I think it's donks, something like that. So 10,000 hits back and forth to each other. We think they're probably about 7,000 or 8,000 hits in, with 2,000 to 3,000 to go, but that's kind of guessing. There's some clickers across the way that you can kind of see on there. And yeah, it looks potentially like we're gonna have to restart on YouTube. It looks like maybe it froze, but I don't know how to do the setup, so hopefully Erica will come back at some point to look at the setup. I think she's eating, but I think she's gonna come over and see if there's a YouTube issue. Because it looks like it's frozen. That looks like it's frozen?
It is. It's on purpose. It's
Okay.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
It's just so.
I thought it was moving before, so
I think you were looking at this.
might have been. Entirely possible. I am not the streaming pro. Oh, Eric is doing.
Because it's still loud.
Oh,
I
is it?
listened to it. I think it's just TikTok, like for whatever reason, TikTok audio just shoots it up.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I can walk and I'll see how much volleys are at because it hasn't been checked in almost an hour. It should be close.
How did they check? Or like where? Oh, you're putting in
typed
there.
it in.
So it was at 6,000 before when I came, because I thought it was at like 4,000. No.
I'll go check that.
All right, so we're gonna get an update on where they're at. Hopefully starting to get close. They've been doing this, I think they've been coming up on about 2 hours of doing the volley back and forth for this Guinness World Record attempt. And if you're also tuning in, they are raising money for Save the Children. Save the Children is a global nonprofit organization that works in the US and about 100 countries around the world, helping to improve the lives of kids. So addressing all the needs of kids if they're grown up in poverty, a lot of places in the world, making sure that kids have things like basic education, healthcare, clean water. We do literacy support here in the US. We do an emergency response in the US and in a lot of places around the world. So that can be responding in conflict zones, to natural disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, those types of folks, those types of places. Basically just making sure kids have what they need. So if you are able to donate, we very much appreciate donations. You can text Pickleball to 707070 or go to rallyforcharity.org/donate. That's the, if you look at some of the text that's on the screen, there's some of the links there to make donations, contribute towards Save the Children. You can also check out our social media. It's pretty much Save the Children anywhere, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, so you can check out more about Save the Children or go to savethechildren.org to learn more about our programs. And thank you for tuning in. All right, so Erica's on our way back, so we're hopefully going to get an update as to where these guys are at in this Guinness World Record attempt. $9,400, so they are getting really, really close. So they have 600 donks, rallies, 600 left to go. So basically 300 touches per brother. So they are getting really, really close to this world record attempt. And now I'm gonna get really nervous for them.
I know.
Because if they, like, how heartbreaking if, but hopefully, so she don't, yeah, no jinxing it. No, I think they're gonna get it. I'm really excited.
I think they're gonna slam it and they're gonna keep going.
That's true, because they want to get over. They want to set it so that they have the record for a long time. So if they were at 9,400, I don't know. I mean, better than breakdancing. I saw there was, for when it comes to LA, they're going to take breakdancing off, I think. And then there were 2 other sports that they were thinking of not having on. So they're getting close.
What is that?
So they're very close. This world record attempt. I wonder if are the clickers gonna like signal them, do you think? Because I feel like that would break their concentration. Because if they're trying to go over it, I don't know. Well, that's gonna break their concentration. That happened. There was a kiddo that was like crying back there, and they got a little off rhythm. Like I think because kids' voices are so, hard to ignore. I mean, that's the purpose. Yeah. And I was like, ah. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Close to do it, right?
Yeah, they were. So Erica checked about 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes, and they were at 9,400.
And the total is
They have to get above 10,000.
10.
But we think they're going to try and go. We don't know if they're going to stop right at 10,000 or they're going to try and keep, because then like 10,000 is the floor basically.
Yeah,
so
then whenever
right.
they-
So once they hit it, I don't know if they're just going to keep going until failure or like, yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm switching to the pro.
The sushi was yummy.
They are close.
Do you think they counted in their head?
No, so what they're doing, and this is something that's cool to note. So on that playlist, it was Eye of the Tiger in the past, but I'm not sure what song it is right now. They know when that song comes on twice. The playlist is about an hour. They're using the timing of the songs and relativity to know where they are.
Okay.
So they don't necessarily know the number.
Okay, so in 6 minutes, Eye of the Tiger should be playing.
Exactly. Yeah, Eye of the Tiger. How cliche are them?
Did they get to it?
So I asked her to go over there.
B-roll. Right? B-roll?
Yeah.
B-roll.
And I asked her to go over there and try and get the countdown.
Yeah. Oh, this is nerve-wracking. I don't like it. It's scary. Oh.
They just broke it.
They did?
Yep.
They just
Awesome. They just broke
broke
10,000. Steve just let us know, who's the head counter, that they're at 10-1. How incredible. So now they're going for some extra right now.
Yeah, they gotta get it. The filler, so no one tries to break it right away.
Yeah. But you can tell Angelo's moving his feet a little bit more now. He knows they're just
playing.
this is what, and I could feel it myself too. This is what Angelo talks about, and that has a euphoric feeling. It's like, you just broke it. You're just putting extra reps in now. It's excitement and joy at the same time, but you're consistently moving forward. Incredible.
Yeah, they're getting like faster. Oh.
They picked up the pace a little bit too, having fun with it. But yeah, just so cool.
The counter.
Yeah, they're
Going
getting
faster now.
they picked up the pace, yeah, for sure. And if I'm being honest with you, it's probably they're trying to get as many balls in as possible right now. Angelo's definitely feeling it in his feet, so is that. They're definitely sweating on the palms. They're definitely sore, so they're
Thomas?
looking.
Sorry,
You're good.
Thomas Hiding. Thank you so much for the $100 donation.
Thank you, Thomas.
And Anonymous, thank you so much for the $10 donation.
Wow. They really picked up the pace. Look at it. He's dancing around over there. He
We're having fun.
exactly.
Is it 'cause it's eye of the
Be ready,
tiger, you just
please?
gotta dance.
Yes. Thank you. I want you to get it when they finish.
Oh, when they like end it.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if
So-
there's a bet to see who's gonna drop it first too. Like,
So
for
they
the-
have something planned. So really, what they did right there is they just wanted to confirm to each other that they can both still continue,
Okay.
and they're comfortable continuing. Yeah, that works fine.
I mean, comparably so. 16 hours to 2 hours is nothing for them.
And but I will tell you that internally right now, they have a marker they didn't tell us about. So they were telling everybody 10,000. They probably had a marker for themselves at 12 or 14, somewhere in that range, and that's what they're talking to each other right now about. Ready? Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Come on!
Oh God, I'm crying. Oh my goodness. Everyone's getting out. Everyone's cheering right now. Let's see. We try to like show everyone how like much love is happening right now. Rightfully so. Just everyone's loving.
Just absolutely euphoric. Absolutely euphoric. Wow. Ooh, I'm crying.
I'm crying. Oh my goodness.
I think that everybody here just knows, definitely knows how much this means to Angelo and everybody else,
Make sure they're okay. Everyone's okay.
and their mother. Yeah.
The EMTs are just making sure Ed's okay. He's letting him know he's okay. It sounded like his hip was kind of starting to hurt him.
Definitely was.
Yeah.
Wow. So right now it's holding up Man in the Arena, which is a quote.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. Amazing.
You had me crying. Good job. Thank you. You guys did great. They're getting water. They're saying hi to everyone. Amazing job. We'll keep the live on just in case they want to say or do anything. Right now, they're just, they're exhausted, so they're getting a lot of good climbing. Congratulations from everyone around. It's still going. Here, I'll get closer with my microphone.
I was peacefully excited for today. Good. Sorry, I got you, bro. I don't want to finish. Okay. Oh yeah, let me get my power. 2 years ago, our mom. Passed away of pancreatic cancer. Some of you were at the funeral, and we only had 30 days from when she knew she had stage 4 to when she passed away. And you know what? When someone is a big supporter of yours and they're not there anymore, it's really tough. And in the back of my mind, I felt that if we set the record in her honor today, she would come back. But I know she's not. So we came up with the idea for this record, even though we thought we might do one. When I was feeling low around January, and so I told my brother, I'm just going to put the application in and have something to look forward to and to do it for her. So, now we're here today, and I don't mean it to be a somber moment. I kid you not, I'm going to be very excited tomorrow. But, what I realize is I saw an interview of a bronze medalist recently, and she said that She didn't need to win gold, but she really wanted it. And that's exactly the way I feel right now. We didn't need a world record. We didn't need the fourth one. But I had 100% belief that we were setting that record today, no matter what. And every time my brother and I would do an interview up until today, whenever he used the word if, I corrected him and I would say when we break the record. Because ultimately it's about your mindset and your controllables. And those who I coach and those who I play with know my mantra of focusing on your eagles, your effort, your attitude, your gratitude, your learning, your enjoyment, your sportsmanship, and the silent double F is focused on playing freely. And I'm happy to say that I did that today as I focused on my controllables. And while you're doing the rally, your mind thinks of, I think it's like 40,000 thoughts in a minute. And I had a lot of them. And whenever there was a negative one, I said that I love my mom. And you saw the photos of her. That was her high school yearbook photo. And this was for her. And I'm hoping we honored her memory. And for any of you that have lost a loved one, particularly to cancer, you know what I mean is that you wish they were there with you. And I know she's in a better place, but it still doesn't make me want her here any less. And for the work that my brother does, because he's really the hero, he just makes me look good. You know, I'm the older brother. I was born 10 minutes before him. And of course, I always have to remind him of that. But he did this production behind the scenes, everything.
Not me, team.
The team, but I mean, he's the one who assembled it. And every world record, it's always that. I'm the one focusing on the easy part, which is doing the record. And he does everything else. And, oh, by the way, does the record with me. So I really love my brother. And, you know, I don't know what I would do without him, so don't go anywhere, man. And the final thing I'll say is, you know, if you're feeling lost and whether you lose a loved one or you had a bad day, you know, tomorrow's always going to be a better day. It's up to you to make it a better day. It's all about your perspective. And if you have perspective that tomorrow's going to be better than today and you're 1% better tomorrow than today, you'll end up being a better person, a husband, a spouse, a friend, a sibling. And, you know, we can't do this without you and your support. So, you know, thank you for the production team, the volunteers for putting this together. And don't get me wrong, I'm thrilled with excitement. You just can't tell, but I'm very happy. But I believe that we honored our mom today.
Yeah, I agree. Angela clipped 2 pictures of her high school yearbook photo on the net, and so she was always in our sights and in our minds, and that gave us the power to persevere. My 2 words were humility and gratitude. Those were my 2 words. If I focused on just being humble, this might seem easy. It is incredibly difficult. Of the 4 world records, this is probably the most difficult one for sure.
Definitely.
So when I found in practices I would get overconfident, it would lead to a miss every time. So I tried to use the Bruce Lee quote, be like water, my friend. Water can be powerful and create valleys out of mountains, and it can provide nourishment for life. But water is formless and shapeless, and it takes the shape of the container you put it in. If you put water in a teacup, it becomes the teacup. If you put water in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Be like water, my friend. I was like water today. We were like water. That is the way you free your mind to be able to accomplish something like this. That in the Matrix. But no, you did that. And I would like to, now on to gratitude. I am extremely grateful for all of you for being here. We mean it when we say this world record belongs to all of you, because without each and every one of you, it would not have been possible. But there's a difference between impossible and improbable. If you have the will that you can succeed, then the impossible becomes improbable, and the improbable becomes inevitable. Those are the words of the late Christopher Reeve, the actor who played Superman. And I would like to specifically thank Save the Children and the staff, Erica, also known as Snuggie Bun on stream, Lisa, Jill, where's Lisa? Over there, Lisa, Jill, Paul came by earlier, and all the staff who supported us behind the scenes to make this happen. That's why we did it. We had to find the extrinsic motivation. The extrinsic motivation was Save the Children, because there are children who aren't rallying a pickleball for 2 hours and not drinking and not eating. We are doing that voluntarily. They're doing it involuntarily, so I'd really appreciate it. Now that we did our part, if you guys can continue to spread the word. Our goal is to get to $200,000 raised, $100,000 the last record in 2021, $200,000. Spread the word, make your pledges. We've got raffle prizes, an auction going on. You can still play pickleball, right? Okay, good. Good. And now more gratitude. Save the Children first. Pickleball America. J Squared, Mia, Joe, and Joe F. You guys are amazing hosts. Yeah. We could not have done it without this world-class Pickleball America venue. It is the best pickleball dedicated facility in the state, in the Northeast, and arguably in the nation with the expansion. And we're super proud to be able to set the record here. When we get the official certificate, you guys are gonna get a copy. It's gonna be framed, and we want it on court number 8 in perpetuity.
In front of the hall.
In front of the hall. All right? Wait, a few more gratitudes.
More gratitudes. We have volunteer staff. We have Steve Rogers, who made his 3rd world record with us as the head counter. Stacy Rose. Crystal Gallagher's over there. Hey, Crystal. Alec Martone of Fail First Project. He and I have been doing a lot of podcasts together. If you haven't watched all the episodes, you got to watch them. So it's Fail First. And Nicole. And let's see, Joe, I know, is here. I don't know if he's still here. Joe, thank you, Joe. Jared was here. Yep. But then Jared had his priorities straight. He had a bachelor party to go to. So a friend's bachelor party. So, you know, he's got his priorities straight. But, and if there's any staff that I'm forgetting, please forgive me. But
Misty Byer.
Oh, yes, Misty, of course. Misty, heading up all of our family projects. Yay.
Jill, okay.
And her daughter, Jessica.
Okay, great, okay.
Who else? Everyone?
All right, and then the other couple of other sponsor shout-outs that you can see on the graphic on the monitor. So Pickleball America, the host sponsor, Engage Pickleball came up huge. They created a Save the Children collection of paddles, 3 paddles, 2 of which we played with. It's Save the Children logo. You can buy them online, limited edition, while supplies last. And my lawyers tell me 50% of the retail purchase price goes to Save the Children. Okay, hopefully the lawyers are satisfied with that. On the flip side, there are signatures on it. We had a dream someday to have signature paddles. The dream came true. I don't know how. But we have 2 other paddles also available in the collection. So we would appreciate if you could buy some raffle tickets. You can win some paddles, and if not, you can get them online. Okay, the next sponsor I'd like to thank is Halo. In the swag bags, you guys got tote bags, biodegradable tote bags, and T-shirts, exclusive limited edition event T-shirts. Those were provided by Halo. Pledge.to. Their hashtag is Pledge to Do Good, and I hope we did their hashtag well. They supported us with the donation platform capability. You can donate right from the platform, text to donate. They waive all the fees. Plus, you can tip up and cover any credit card fees. So it's a super cool organization, super cool origin story. The guy who created it created Crisis Text Line, the text messaging service for people who are suicidal. So he has a great social impact background. The next sponsor I'd like to thank is Save My Play. While we were saving the children, Save My Play was recording all the action. So they provided cameras. Make a donation. If you can't donate, spread the word on social medias. Tag at Save the Children. You can tag the Rossetti Brothers. You can tag Pickleball America as well, because the pickleball community represents inclusion, diversity, fun, an ability to beat yourself up on the court, but not in real life. I feel like the original origin story of this event actually starts with Misty Byer. She said, I would like to do something for Save the Children to support the children and families in Gaza and elsewhere, Ukraine, that are suffering. And we said, we'll do it. We'll create a fundraiser. Well, Misty, your vision came true. We did it with your help. So the original working title of the event was Pickleball for Peace, because there's a lot of conflict in the world, and there shouldn't be. So pickleball is a great metaphor for life in that it's so peaceful, and when you're playing a game, there's a difference between a finite game and an infinite game. According to Seth Godin, which by the way is my superhero, literally, this is his superhero figure. He couldn't be here, but this is Seth. And so infinite game and finite, the purpose of a finite game, zero sum, is to win. You have a winner and you have a loser. The purpose of an infinite game is to play. He caught the ball. The rally continues for children. Thank you so much. And a quick final thanks to our family. There's my wife, Pam, my son, Andy, Maddie, who went up to University of St. Joseph for her first day of college yesterday. Yay. And my kids, Adam, Jasmine. Adam had to go to work. Jasmine, my dad, and my wife, Sumia. We couldn't have done it without you. You're in our hearts. Yep. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, so. All right. Well, I guess.